Hi, I'm Pat with Ashimoks Archery, and today we're going to be looking at the Bear Archery Bullseye bow, which is their 54-inch youth recurve bow. So let's see what we have here. So it's packed fairly well. So we have a box, inside a box, inside a box. It's obviously a retail package, so you could probably go to some sporting goods store might have this in the store. I bought this all from Amazon. All right, so let's open it up and see what it comes with. All right, so we have that's a bowstringer. We have the bowstring, and that's a Dacron string. That's called a continuous loop string. So the string is just one continuous loop like this, and then they serve the ends to create the loops and serve the center, right, to create where the arrow hits, and then so if it hits your arm guard, it doesn't damage the string. And this one also comes with a string knock, so that's where your arrow, where you knock your arrow right under that string knock. All right, and then we have the riser. So this is a takedown bow, so you have the riser and the two limbs, they're separate. All right, so on this riser we have the limb bolts, top and bottom, the limb pockets. All right, that's a threaded insert, that's for a stabilizer, or if you're adventurous, maybe you can mount a GoPro there. You have another threaded insert here, that is if you want to use a plunger, you can put a plunger in there, and then you have two threaded inserts here, and if you wanted to use a sight, that's where the sight would go. All right, so we'll take the bolts out. All right, we'll mount the limbs. So we're looking for the one that says lower limb on it right there. And this one says it's a 54-inch bow, 24-pound draw. All right, and since that's a lower limb, we're going to mount it on the lower limb pocket. Tighten it up. And then this limb has no markings, so by default, it is the upper limb. All right, string the bow, take the larger loop, put it over the top, slide it down, smaller loop goes into the string groove. All right, so now that bow's ready to string, and I'm going to string it real quick. All right, there we have the bow. We'll give it a look over. So now I'm making a semi-educated guess that this is birch wood. The centerpiece was, I'm going to assume that's Padauk, and the accent stripes that you see there and there, I'm going to say that's Wingate. Now, I may not be 100% accurate, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. But either way, it's a good hardwood riser. It's laminated. Laminated wood gives it more strength than if it was solid wood. All right, so let's look at the fit and the finish. The limb pockets fit tight, no play. Finish is pretty good. I doubt you can see it on the camera, but there's a slight abrasion right there where the limb overlay goes on. It would have no effect on the performance of the bow whatsoever. It's just a slight imperfection. All right. And the limbs are good and straight. They line up right down the center of the bow. So when I sight down it, the center of the bow lines up right there with the string. All right, that's what you want. Well, I think we need to shoot it. Let's go to the range and see how it does. Hi, I'm Pat with Ashton Oaks Archery, and this is my friend Joe. And Joe's going to help me test the Bear Bullseye 54-inch youth recurve bow that we unpacked and inspected earlier today. All right. So, but first, we want to see how tall Joe is. So Joe is, how tall are you, Joe?
5 foot.
5 foot? Joe's 5 foot tall. All right. Turn and face me, please. All right. Hold your hands out in front of you. And your draw length is 24 inches. All right.
That's right.
Yeah. Go ahead, Joe. Shoot a couple arrows for us. Shoot down. Take your time. One more. That's a good shot, by the way. All right. All right, Joe. Tell me, what did you think? Now, this is a 24-pound pull bow, which is probably on the edge of being a little heavy for this size bow and for Joe. So what did you think? Is it a little too heavy?
It feels pretty good. I mean, like, yeah, not really that of a struggle.
Yeah. Could you shoot normal. It all day?
For 20 targets, yeah, I think I could.
All right. Longer than that? Probably not?
Maybe. Yeah, maybe.
Okay. All right. And the bow that you shoot normally, how heavy is it?
20.
20 pounds. Okay.
I think 4 extra pounds. Yeah, I could probably do it all day.
Okay. All right. Yeah. Okay. Now this is Jordy. This is Joe's brother. He's a little bit younger, a little bit smaller. So we're going to let him shoot the Bear Archery Bullseye bow as well. So we can see who's better suited size-wise to this bow and this strength. All right, but first, let's see how tall he is. How tall are you, Jordy?
4.5 feet.
4.5 feet. You sure? Okay. You're 4.5 feet. All right, turn and face me. All right, let's see what your draw length is. Okay, 22 inches your draw length. Okay, go ahead and shoot a few arrows for me, Jordy. And remember, take your time. Good shot. Take your time. There you go. Last one. There you go. All right, so what do you think, Jordy?
I think I could shoot it, but not 20 targets, but I could probably do 10 or maybe 11.
Okay, so it's probably a little bit heavy for you then. Right? And how the bow you usually shoot, how heavy is it?
20.
20 pounds. Okay. All right. All right, so that's what we wanted to know. See who the bow suits best, and I think in this case it's probably Joe. So this is the Bear 54-inch recurve bow. It is marked 24 pounds at 28 inches of draw. We're going to weigh it on my scale and see where it stacks according to what they say. All right, so it is 28.2 pounds of draw, so it's about 4 pounds off. Now I'll go ahead and measure this 2-pound increments down to about 18 inches of draw. That'll be posted on the website for you to review later. Okay, so the Bear 54-inch youth recurve bow, it only comes in a 24-pound draw weight, which in my opinion is a little heavy for a beginner shooter. Joe and Jordy could shoot it, but they're experienced shooters. They've been shooting for 4 or 5 years anyway. A first-time shooter, this is probably going to be a little too much draw weight for them. For a young adult, say maybe 14 or 15, whose draw length is 26 inches or less, this would probably be a really good choice. All right, but it is a good quality bow, and it comes with everything you need to get started shooting as far as the bow is concerned. You should have to have arrows, maybe arm guard, finger tabs, those sort of things, but we'll discuss those later in a different video. So there you have it, Bear 54-inch recurve. I think it's a well-made bow, has a good look to it, and it'll do the job.